Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
Well, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. We ain't gonna dwell on it too much because there was a lot going on, but we gonna keep it nice and breezy around here, all right? So, hello, hello, hello. We ain't gonna go in this too deep, but we just gonna tell y'all what happened. We gonna, send our condolences to Zoe, and then we're gonna proceed forward. Now, Monday Night Raw continued on with the qualifier matches for Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is on June 7th, and they are rolling through to continue to qualify.
There you go.
Put the phone down. Anyways, they are continuing to qualify for the show, which is in, I'd say, 2 weeks. Money in the Bank is 2 weeks from now. Now, the Money in the Bank ladder match qualifiers, I'll go through those very quickly and get them over with so we can move on because they were both women's qualifiers. There were no men's qualifiers on the show today. So We had Becky Lynch facing off against Roxanne and Natalia. Pretty decent match between these three women. Becky Lynch ended up getting taken out by Lyra Valkyria, and Natalia and Roxanne were the ones who continued the match. It was a lot of back and forth with all three of them in there. Roxanne did exceptionally well against two, arguably, of the greatest of all time in Natalia and one of the greatest accolade wise in Becky Lynch. Now, Roxanne won with the Pop Rocks, and she almost lost up against Natalia, but Roxanne was able to hold her own. Roxanne transitioned on the main roster beautifully. She has not missed a step. She hasn't had a bad match. She is seamless. She was built for this, and y'all know that, okay? I'm glad she finally on the main roster because I was tired of her whining and complaining down in NXT. Get your ass on the roster where the big fish are and really start swimming, bitch. And that's what she did. So, if you want your uncle, you need to get up, go downstairs, and talk to him. Now, Lyra came in and took Becky out. Becky was completely removed from the match towards the end. Natalia and Roxanne had their little battle, but Roxanne was able to hit the Pop Rocks and win and officially qualify for Money in the Bank. She will join Alexa Bliss in the match for Money in the Bank. Okay. Next match, next qualifier. Zoe Starks, Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane. Shout out to Kairi Sane for coming back from a hand injury. And shout out to Zoe Starks. She received an injury in this match. This was all on her lonesome. She landed awkwardly trying to do this drop kick. I think it was off the turnbuckle, and she landed pretty bad. That landing really took her out. I mean, she curled up like a fetus and she did not move. They ended up having to go to commercial. They pulled Zoe from the match completely and left the match up to Kairi and Rhea. And this is where I feel like they made a mistake. Rhea Ripley beat Kairi Sane in this match. And quite frankly, I believe that Rhea Ripley shouldn't have been in the qualifier to begin with. But they had Becky in the other match, so I can't be mad about Rhea Ripley. However, I didn't think Rhea needed to win this match, nor does she need to be in Money in the Bank. They should have given it to Kairi Sane. She would have added more depth to the match, especially on the high flyer side. She's more of a risk taker than Rhea Ripley is, and it just would have been a better experience visually overall in this match, in my opinion, if she was there. But they went with Rhea. So now it is Rhea, Alexa Bliss, and Roxanne Perez who will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. There are only 3 more slots left, and Raw, they've filled their quota for 2 of them, and now SmackDown gets a slot, and then Raw gets a slot, I think. And I don't know if they're going to do a last chance thing. I'm not sure, but it's 6 slots. So they've got 2 more matches or a few more matches to go. Pardon my ignorance if I'm not calculating it correctly because my brain, it's not firing on all cylinders today. All right. Let's move on. The first match of the night, the actual first match of the night, was this match. It was a tag team match between Penta and AJ Styles, and they were going up against Judgment Day. Now, this match was good. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was really fun to watch all 4 of them compete against each other. But what soured it was El Grande Americano. I don't care what they have to do to get rid of this motherfucker, but they need to. El Grande came in, took Penta out, and this was after he did a gnarly Mexican destroyer on JD McDonough, who was pretty much taken out. Finn saw that Penta was laid out, and so he took Penta in the ring, pinned him, and that was it. Did his submission, did his move, and then it was over. Um, El Grande Americano, it keeps interfering in Penna's matches. Obviously, I wish they would hurry up and make the announcement that they're going to fight at Worlds Collide. They have done all of this lead up work for Money in the Bank, but we have seen nothing in regards to Worlds Collide. So I'm very curious as to how this is going to play out. But sure, go off. Match wise, going into matches, Grayson Waller went up against Sheamus. Sheamus beat the brakes off of Grayson Waller. If I'm being honest, this was an okay match for Grayson, but Sheamus beat Grayson Waller down. Okay, he beat him down and he won. Logan Paul was hold tight, y'all. There we go. Logan Paul was the one who opened up the show. I wasn't going to listen to what he was talking about. Essentially, he just was stating his version of facts. He repeats and regurgitates what everybody else was saying, that Jey Uso is not championship material. He's not good enough. He doesn't carry the weight of a champion correctly. Blah, 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 blah. That's when Gunther came out there, and Gunther essentially was like, you know what? I respect you on a businessman's level. Like, you've been able to build yourself up from the ground up. That's debatable, if we're being honest. It's not like Logan Paul was poor. It's not like he was coming from a place where he had nothing. He wasn't. His parents were middle class to borderline upper class families. So he's not coming from, oh, he's a rags to riches story. No. Let's not spin that bullshit narrative. All right. Now, they were able to build his own empire. He is right about that. I would also challenge that by asking whose back did you build it off of? Because I'm gonna be quiet on that one. I'm gonna let you have your moment. Gunther essentially told him that he could learn a lot from him, more specifically in the vein of business wise, his social medias, and all that other kind of stuff. But he said if he gets in his way for getting that championship back and getting back at Jey Uso, then he will make it personal. He said, you are just a footnote. You being champion is irrelevant to me because I know basically he's like, even if you get it, you ain't gonna keep it long because I'm gonna make sure you don't have it. He was like, I don't respect you, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Whatever makes you happy is what makes you happy. So Gunther walked away and he basically was just like, hey, this is all you got. That's it. And I'm going to be coming after whoever wins at Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, if you champ, be forewarned. I will take it personally and I'm taking you down. And I said, okay, cool. Then I fucks with you, Gunther. He tore his ass up because Logan Paul is genuinely afraid of Gunther. Now, in the meantime, he got laid out by Jey Uso. Mouth was still bleeding from the last one at the end of the show. Anyways, any whoosies. What else do we have today? Indeed, we had a few run-ins backstage. So if you've been paying attention the last couple of weeks, Finn has been talking to Roxanne over and over again. And essentially, after Julia was like, bitch, I'm going to SmackDown and do my own thing, she took Finn up on his advice. So basically, Roxanne's going to be a little liaison for Judgment Day. She's not in the group. She's not a part of the group, but she's a friend of a friend. You see what I'm saying? So, motherfucking Rocket Cobra back is like, oh, hell no. Nah. I know you ain't brought this bitch up in here. Everybody else is like, I don't know. Dom like, yo, we need to talk to Liv. Now I'm like, that's interesting because when Rhea was out and y'all brought Liv in there, you didn't say a damn thing. You let her ass run around, skipping, bringing your chicken nuggets and shit. You was happy with your dino nuggets. Now you want to talk about, well, oh, we should really talk to Liv. Well, you have a phone. Call her if it's that serious. Okay. Now, Ben done brought Liv in there. And Ben says, Ben brought Roxanne in there. She says, hi, I'm just here to help with the group. Ben was like, she's just here to help. Like, she's just here to have our backs. Like, I finally got some help for Liv and Raquel. They don't have nobody to watch their back, and you got us to watch yours. And he was like, you right. So, child, Raquel says, Liv will hear about this. Girl, yo, dry snitching ass. And Finn was like, oh, I can't wait. I'm like, Finn, you messy. You're a messy queen. You are a messy queen because you didn't have to do that. You really didn't, but you chose to because you messy. Okay? Now, we also saw backstage that Jey Uso was confronted by Thickums Roly Poly. Now, Roly Poly said a lot of nothing, if we being honest. Everything he says is some bullshit. He said it very plainly. He was just like, well, everybody says that I'm stabbing people in the back. I stabbed CM Punk in the back. I stabbed Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, in the back. But I didn't. I didn't stab anybody in the back. And just as a courtesy, I'm going to tell you to your face how this is going to go down. Okay? Braun Breaker is going to beat the hell out of you. And then if you survive at Saturday Night Main Event, you will go up against Gunther. And if you survive against Gunther, you will have to contend with the former champion, the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. And he will take that title from you and show you what a real champion looks like. All right. Then Seth Rollins finds Logan Paul, approaches Logan Paul. And Logan's like, what the hell do you want, Seth? I don't have time for your bullshit. I'm like, honestly, you have nothing but time. But I digress. The man basically was like, I'm not here to fight. I'm just here to give you a little bit of advice, right? He was like, Brian Breaker's going to beat the brakes off of Jey Uso today. He's going to soften him up, which means he will be right for the picking for you at Saturday Night Main Event, right? Saturday Night Main Event, if you survive, then you'll go up against Gunther. That's a main eventer right there. Your system just turned off. Then he said, if you survive Gunther, then you'll have to be worried about me. And then we can run it back from WrestleMania. And I was like, nobody wants to see that. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny or trying to be cutesy. No. I am okay. I would rather he go sit down somewhere. Don't he got a baby with his wife? Like, don't he need to be with her? You know, chilling, resting, or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to be. I know it sounds real disrespectful, but I low-key do not want to see that. I don't need to see y'all running back. I don't need to see none of that. I'm okay with y'all proceeding forward to something else. Totally fine with that. Now, of course, Logan Paul was contemplating life as the WWE champion. I mean, oh my God. The World Heavyweight Championship is right there. And Braun Breaker's going to give him a softened Jey Uso. Oh my God. Oh my God. A softened Jey Uso? Sign me up. So, we also saw Chad Gable in the office with Adam. And we also saw Akira Tozawa in office with Adam. Akira was confirming that his match with Rusev was solid. It was. He also left after Chad Gable was talking shit about Otis and coming in there. Like, nigga, is he flew in the damn room, his ears did before the rest of them got in there. The little gnat just come out of nowhere. You'd be like, nigga, shut up. Okay? Now, Chad Gable said, listen, I know you in here not doing nothing. So why don't you put me and Ivy in a qualifier match next week? Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Adam was like, bitch, didn't I talk to you about this shit last week? I swear we had this conversation last week. What the fuck? And then here come New Day. I don't know what Xavier's issue is with that whack ass S curl, but he's getting on my nerves. Nerves. Do you understand? This man walked in with the tie. And why? Can I ask y'all a question? I just want to understand why they don't wear no shirts? How come they done turned heel and decided, okay, I'm not gonna wear no shirt? Like, what does that mean? Like, they are literally walking around, Kobe walking around looking like he got separated chest syndromes, and Xavier, he looked like he like a good nipple. Let's just put it that way. Nice little nipple play. Doing in Tokyo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was the first thing that came to my brain. I apologize. Anyway. They came in to talk to Chad about his homeboys, the Creed brothers. And they basically, we get a triple threat next week for the tag team championships. And, we just want to talk to you about your homeboy. And he was like, listen, while I love y'all and everything, we cool. One love. My homies is taking them championships from you. He was like, it's possible, but we can agree on one thing, that nobody wants the War Raiders to be champions. I mean, clearly. And they were like, yeah, true. I'm like, okay, Ivy must be a mute now. That lady don't talk. So, they had Tyrese Halliburton on there. I don't know what you want me to say about that, but him and that tapered fro that he got can go straight to hell. Okay? And I want to clarify something else. Logan Paul is not from Cleveland. Stop saying that. Okay? And I want to say something else. If your black ass talk shit like that about Cleveland one more time, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it to the Knicks. Okay? You leave my calves alone. You let them rest. Because the ass whooping is coming. The receipt is coming. And I know this. Anyway. Last match of the night, y'all. Because the show went by pretty fast. There wasn't a lot going on. It really focused on the qualifier matches and Jey Uso. It was a lot of that going on. So Jey Uso went up against Braun Breaker. And quite frankly, it was a pretty decent match. And Seth just couldn't let the match go. The audience kind of gave it away that he was back there. I wish he would have waited to come out there just a little bit later, because he really did come out just a little bit too early. Like, I saw him stand up right before Braun Breaker, he super kicked Braun Breaker when he was trying to spear him. They was all standing up, and I'm like, what? Why y'all sound like he ain't coming in yet? Which he wasn't. He was just back there laying in wait. So Paul Heyman got involved in the match and then took his jacket off like he was gonna fight. And I was like, yo, fat ass ain't finna do nothing. You might as well sit down or cry like you always do. And then, of course, Seth's ass got jumped in and attacked Jey Uso. This led to Sammy coming out there, and they were calling for CM Punk, who was actually there, and he shows up, and all four men start fighting. I don't know where Adam wide hip ass it was with the damn security, but he brought none of that. He was like, they can fight today. They can fight today. We're going to let them fight. And they damn sure did. So they fought until the show went off the air. And then that's when Logan Paul hit Jey Uso in the face. For the fourth time. Scripted or not, it's only so many times I'm going to let you sneak attack me. Only so many times I'm going to let you sneak attack me. Because what? Now he was skeptical. He talking about Finn. It was Finn that was planting seeds. Well, planting seeds or not, you done started it again. I was like, ooh, now you want to be faithful when your girlfriend was a Batmite. Well, not she a Batmite. That's crazy. But he did want to live just as bad. Gross. Y'all happy little family finna be destroyed. Just split. Gaping mouth, the little baby and Cobra back is finna go down. They about to go down. Okay? They going down. Anyways, let me show y'all what we got going for Saturday night main event. Jey Uso is set to face off against Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I believe Jey Uso is going to beat Logan Paul after the events we've seen tonight. I wasn't sure at first, but after the show has aired and settled, I'm convinced that this man is going to beat Logan Paul, especially since most people are looking forward to Gunther and Jey Uso running it back. Yeah. This one is the tag team match between Sammy, CM Punk, Seth, and Braun Breaker. Honestly, I have no idea how that's going to go down. Do I care? Of course, but I don't know how it's going to go down. And that's the curious part. That's kind of what makes that fun, is the fact that you don't know how it's going to go down, and you're going to expect it, to be a good time. You know what I'm saying? Now we have the WWE Championship on the line. As far as I know, it's on the line. John Cena will be facing off against R-Truth. I mean, John Cena is more than likely going to win. Okay, but the way that they've set this up is very, very interesting. The close up on Logan made me want to cry, even though my man's golden brown, but at least he's pretty. Yeah, to you, babe. That's fine. Not Roxanne giving Dom Nuggies and Carlito a bag of apples. Anyways, so we have this match. John Cena is more than likely going to win, and then we have a steel cage match with Drew and Damian Priest, and this is going to be the last bout between these two men. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Monday Night Raw, and then we have Saturday night main event. That is going to be on Saturday this week. Saturday. Okay. Now, on Friday night SmackDown, qualifiers will continue. They have these two matches scheduled to go. Julia, Charlotte, and Zelina Vega will face off to compete in the Money in the Bank ladder match and add that fourth member. And on the men's side, you have Aleister Black, LA Knight, and Shinsuke Nakamura, who will also be competing to compete in the ladder match. So this is going to be very, very interesting. As I said earlier, Money in the Bank is about 2 weeks away. This Saturday, it will be 2 weeks away. It is going to be June 7th, and it's going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Worlds Collide will start at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and hopefully they'll begin to announce those matches. Rumor has it that Evolution is supposed to be on July 12th, but they have not given a definitive answer about Evolution. Night of Champions is supposed to be June 28th, and they are going to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia once again. So right after they are in LA, they're going to be they're going to be doing their regular 1-2 diddly, and then in 2 weeks they're going to be headed out to Riyadh, and they're going to be out there doing Night of Champions. This is going to be interesting because Night of Champions usually has the titles on the line. So I wonder who is going to be competing for them. Very, very interesting. Continuing on with the main roster stuff. June, July, August. SummerSlam is 2 nights. August 2nd and August 3rd, Saturday and Sunday. They're going to be emanating from New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. And then on August 31st, 3 weeks, you're going to have Clash in Paris. And Raw will also be in Paris. And it never ends. This is a song that never ends. Anywho, you're going to have TakeOver Perth in October. SmackDown, Crown Jewel Perth, and Raw will all emanate from Australia. All right? They're going to have a good time. Now, in our developmental, we have NXT Battleground. Now, Battleground has some matches added to the docket. I just don't have the graphics up yet. So, Battleground's first match that was added was Stephanie versus Jordan Grace. You also have Trick Williams facing off against Joe Hendry for the TNA Men's Championship. You also have Obafemi facing off against Miles Bourne for the NXT Championship. And we could potentially have Kaylani facing off against Sol Ruka for the NXT North American Championship, and it will be decided this Tuesday as to who will face off against Ricky Starks for the NXT North American Championship. The tag team titles haven't been added to that, so I'm not sure if that's going to be the thing. But for now, those are the matches. And of course, you have Tony D, who will be facing off against Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and that is to destroy the D'Angelo family. Now, there is one more thing I need to tell y'all about NXT. It seems that Wesley has decided that he has a new nickname for his group, and Tyreek, Tyson, and Wesley will forever be known as High Rise. Cute. Now, with all of that being said, there is a lot going on in a little bit of time. We still have qualifying matches. People are going to be qualifying for Money in the Bank, and then Money in the Bank will be happening in 2 weeks. So that is going to be the focus. I will not be going live this Wednesday, okay? I have something I have to do. I probably will be back Friday, maybe, but there's no guarantee because I'm going to be gone. So please be safe. Don't fret and don't unsubscribe, okay? I'll be back, all right? Yelling and screaming in your face like I always do. I will see you guys next week. Have a good night. Possibly I might go live after Saturday Night Main Day. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. But for now, I'll see you guys next Monday. I hope you guys enjoy. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.